The South Platte River, north of Denver, is effluent dominated. The vast majority of their water downstream of the Height facility is comprised of treated effluent, and we have a very big impact on the river. Historically, going back to the 1970s, it was kind of viewed as a biologically dead stretch of river. There weren't many species of fish at all. We're part of the Water Quality Division within Environmental Services. My portion of the work tends to focus more on the South Platte River, but we have folks that specialize on downstream reservoirs too that receive treated effluent from the Height facility. In some capacity, we've been monitoring the river for over 50 years, since 1972. Our job is to monitor the health of the South Platte River upstream and downstream of our discharge, upstream of the Height facility and a northern treatment plant. We take surface water samples in the South Platte River and its tributaries. We also sample groundwater. Groundwater is important to sample because a lot of that groundwater goes into the South Platte River, so we have to have a sense of the quality of that groundwater and how that influences the river itself. We also monitor physical habitat and in-stream habitat. That's very important for aquatic life. So the fish and the macroinvertebrates, they all need a decent habitat to live in, so we monitor how much riparian vegetation is around the river, what kind of cover's in the river, whether it's riffles or different kind of substrate that the fish and the macroinvertebrates like. We do biological surveying, so every fall we go and sample the river at about 10 to 12 different sites. We identify and weigh and measure those fish, and that gives you a sense of what the fish community looks like and the health of the aquatic life in the river. Since we've been monitoring the river since the 70s, we've noticed drastic improvements in the water quality of our treated effluent, and that's reflected very quickly in the river downstream. Anytime we make a major upgrade on the plant here, especially the Height facility, we see those water quality conditions improve in the river almost immediately, which are then reflected in seeing healthier fish and macroinvertebrate community downstream too. If you look at the South Platte River just upstream of the Robert W. Height facility, for the vast majority of the year, it's almost dry. It's kind of strange. You see the South Platte River, there's barely a river at all. In fact, you can probably walk across the South Platte and barely even get your ankles wet. There's really only a trickle of water coming in from upstream. What's happening there is a major irrigation diversion. It's called the Burlington Ditch. After that ditch, the river's effectively dry, as low as 2 to 5 cubic feet per second, which is barely a trickle. So it's dry for about 2 miles, and then the river reaches the Robert W. Height treatment facility, and then we add, about 200 CFS. So it effectively makes the river again. And it's kind of a man-made river in that respect, is that the river's made up of all the water that goes down our drains and using our showers, toilets. All that wastewater is treated and goes in and pretty much forms a river again. I think it's really important to have folks aware of what the water quality is in their water body in their backyard. So all the data we collect, and once a year I'll actually bring all that data into the Colorado Data Sharing Network. Most wastewater treatment plants don't have the division that we have, because we have a whole division dedicated to this. And yeah, most people don't think of us as being a wastewater treatment plant as being stewards of the river, but we really are, and we take pride in that.